Hello and welcome to What's Next Wall Street. I am Georgia Alfredas.
And I'm Dave Mathews, and this is a show about stocks, crypto, and the new decentralized financial Web3 world around us.
So I've got details on all the hot new trending products that everybody is talking about, using, and investing in. And today I'm talking about celebrity brand ambassadors, the good, the bad, and the Kanye. No, I'm not saying Kanye's ugly. I'm just saying it's a play on words. I fell short.
Well, I'm going to talk about flying again and airlines allowing drinking on planes. But are we ready for these nice things?
We've got Greg Krause, lead instructor at OptionsPlayers.com, as our expert. Greg charts a lot of these companies, and those chart indicators can show where a particular stock is headed so that it's easier to target investment potential. Greg combines technical analysis with fundamental knowledge.
That's right, and our goal is to help you become a more informed trader with a tailored trade plan so you can stay up to speed with what's next on Wall Street and stack some gains.
Yeah, you can email us at OptionsPlayers.com, or you can also hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street with your questions. We can also direct you to instructors who will give you instructions and experts over at Options Players who dig into trading fundamentals.
That's easy for you to say. Now, you can watch this episode on the Options Players YouTube channel. Just search for OptionsPlayers.com, or listen to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.
So whether you're listening to the podcast or watching it on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, hit the alert button so that you always know what's next on Wall Street. And if you like it, give us 5 stars. What's not to like? So American Airlines has opened the bar. Woo! And none too soon, okay? Y'all, my husband almost became a viral meme when the flight attendant told him he could not purchase an alcoholic beverage on our flight. Now, in his defense, a 2-hour flight seated next to our 8-year-old would drive anybody to drink. I'm just going to say that, but I digress. AA, not the anti-drinking club, has resumed alcohol sales on certain flights. Now, the company stopped those sales around 2 years ago because of the coronavirus pandemic. Bringing back the service was also delayed due to the rise of y'all acting crazy, these passengers being unruly, which is really interesting because not having alcohol almost surely created an unruly passenger in my husband's case. Meanwhile, Southwest Airlines brought back its alcohol sales for, I think they did it last month.
Okay. So mostly it's tourists that are flying, as business travel is still few and far between, with offices still closed to visitors. But airlines are doing what they can to ensure they've got enough staff to deal with the influx of additional passengers. Atlanta-based Delta Airlines has announced a 4% pay raise for their non-union employees.
Okay.
The pay increase will go into effect on May 1st and is being paid for directly by the consumer. That's you. Delta is raising ticket prices roughly 10%, with United and Southwest also joining in. The increase in ticket prices came the same day both American and Southwest announced flight schedules were being cut going into the spring due to fuel prices and staffing issues. Delta recently recorded the highest ticket sales of all time, with United and American also saying flight demand has increased. All that, and I keep getting notices that my flights are full, and they're offering me from $500 to $1,000 if I take the next one. I never thought flying could be a job when you weren't in the cockpit, but maybe this is my calling, Georgia.
Yeah, so you know what? They're talking out of both sides of their mouths, because either they're not being completely honest, or times are tough, or they're in financial trouble. Speaking of Delta, by the way, did you know that they offer in-flight Peloton classes?
What?
This is so cool. I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually genius. Some people get super anxious when they're flying, which is why they need the alcohol. So Peloton curated meditation and stretching classes. Actually, probably shouldn't call them a class because it's not like you're doing it with other passengers, but it's offered on the seatback screen. That's pretty cool. Meanwhile, another employer is giving his employees a financial lift. Wait for it. And you, as the consumer, will be paying for it yet again. Lyft, get it? I said wait for it, Lyft. Oh, okay.
LOL.
Anyway, they've added a 55-cent fuel surcharge to each ride. Lyft says the fuel amount, or actually the full amount of the surcharge, is going to go directly to drivers. Now, this surcharge is not going to apply to riders in New York and Nevada. Uber also recently announced a fuel surcharge.
Well, that's in contrast to what DoorDash is doing. Georgia, did you see this?
What?
DoorDash is trying to help ease the price at the pump for its drivers. However, it's not coming out of the consumer's pocket.
Ooh.
DoorDash recently announced a program that allows their drivers to get 10% cash back on gas.
Sweet.
Drivers can use a prepaid business Visa card to fill up their tanks, even if they're not working doing the deliveries.
Wow.
And more good news, as Mercedes announced they may be the first manufacturer to let consumers buy cars with full level 3 automated driving.
Okay.
Johnny Lieberman of Motor Trend had video on his Instagram channel with a Mercedes employee watchdog driving into the I-10 traffic intentionally. Like, who wants to be on the I-10? But he was showing the vehicle's prowess on the road.
Whoa.
Now, this is cool because it's not one of the prototype cars with lasers and cameras hanging off the roof, but a truly modern car with self-driving capabilities when the road conditions allow.
Super cool.
Surround yourself with positive, like-minded attitudes like Georgia. It's very important for a trader to be in an environment that is conducive to success. Noise and negativity can really take a toll on inexperienced traders. So make sure you're associating with others that share the same passion and understanding as you. This is kind of like a dating tip as well.
Yeah. Life tip
can go a long way with your mental health and trading experience. We hope this helps. This really was my dating tip.
Okay. So this is where we get to hear from you. You can always hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street. Connect with us on our YouTube page or email us at WNW@OptionsPlayers.com. This first email comes from Adam from Boston. That was pretty good.
That was terrible.
That was Boston. You do it, Boston.
Boston.
Oh, Boston.
Boston.
Boston. I said it like a New Yorker saying Boston,
Yeah.
but it was Boston. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Adam. Adam wants to know, what did Biden's executive order on crypto include, and how will it affect the space moving forward? Good question. Greg, can you answer it?
Yeah, I can answer it. It's the government talking about crypto. So what do you think they were talking about? All right, but crypto, what did it come out? So I actually have the White House fact sheet for the president executive order reinsuring responsible development of digital assets. First off, crypto is supposed to be what? Decentralized. So what do you think the United States government wants to do to it? They want to put rules on it. They want to centralize it. They want to control it. Like everything. So that's basically what they were doing. Said they were going to look into it to see, the effects of this. For example, how could they protect U.S. consumers, investors, and businesses? How are they going to do that? They could do it by making a currency, put regulations on it through SEC, make it so, basically only rich people can get rich off of it. Yeah, that's what happens. All right, protect U.S. and global financial stability and systematic risk. Basically what that is how can they control it to maintain the United States financial ability? So stability, that's kind of like with the Fed by controlling monetary policies and things like that. How can they do that? Promote U.S. leadership in technology and economic competitiveness. I didn't know the government does anything in that. They say it, but that's usually all the people going against them. Like Elon Musk and everybody else. Promote access to safe and affordable financial services. I don't really know what that is. It's crypto. Do you want crypto? It's free. It's decentralized. Why does the government need to do it? To make it more expensive and not as safe. Because I don't know. Anything the government's website breaks, now you're going to be in charge of crypto? Come on, brother. All right. And explore a U.S. central bank digital currency. Well, I understand that one. It'd be a complete goat. I mean, I can't say the 4-letter word on air, but we all know the United States government is going to hire some kid for $40,000 to make a digital currency, and it's going to crash day one, whatever it is, and then Russia hack it and have all of our U.S. digital currencies. Now y'all can laugh. That's about all I got.
Greg, I mean,
this is amazing. What were you reading?
He was reading the fact sheet. Yeah, he was reading the fact sheet.
But where is it? WhiteHouse.gov/crypto?
It's whitehouse.gov, briefing room, statement releases, and then the day, and then the fact sheet, President Biden. Just Google.
Amazing.
Here's the thing. Don't
crypto.
ask Greg a question unless you really, really want to know the answer.
Well, I mean, it's what it is. So basically, they're just going to look into how to do these things. But it's cryptocurrency. It's supposed to not be the government. And so, and everybody's like, what is this going to do? I have no idea. It should be bad for crypto, right? Because I don't know, name something else that, got in there and it was good for, so it's hard to say.
But at the time that we recorded this show, crypto popped, right? So this is either consumers in America thinking that.
I mean, you have Russia over there, the dollar ain't nothing. Everybody's trying to get their stuff into crypto to move it out of the country because they can't do anything. But what does that mean? I don't know what that means. It doesn't mean it's good for us or it's good later down the road. People just say he said something about crypto, buy it. I mean, how does that help Bitcoin?
Okay.
It doesn't.
Our teleprompter wanted to know, can the government shut it off? We told you you couldn't ask questions, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I've always said, I'm not a Bitcoin expert, but I look at Bitcoin's whole thing is being decentralized, although a lot of it is centralized because of some of the platforms. But now, if the government gets involved, then that peer-to-peer is not going to be a real thing anymore, because now you're going to have to report it. There's going to have to be SEC and all this. So once it gets controlled, it is what it is. Who makes money in, say, for example, the stock market, right? The stock market's 100% controlled by the government. It will go up whenever the government wants to because the feds could just release money, so on and so on. And then when they own crypto and they make rules around it, well, guess what? There's only one other economy, and that would be the Chinese economy, that doesn't really like crypto either, that could even save it. If the US wants to crush it, once it puts its money into it, it'll crush it.
Yeah, but so George, to answer your question, I think, and to Greg's point, China did shut down crypto, and they said it's because of energy consumption. And a lot of these coins are moving from proof of work, which is mathematically complex, which burns more energy than some small countries, to proof of stake, which would be like guys like me that hold it, and we hope and pray that it goes up. But Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan Chase, he has, at first he was pensive about it, now he's all in. Think about all the money the lobbyists are spending to go to Capitol Hill and keep initiatives that they find important alive. So I don't think crypto is going to go away in America anytime soon. And to Greg's point, Russia outlawed it as well, and the Russians can't get their rubles, which are, by the way, valued at a penny now. So maybe, Greg, buying some ruble currency, is there a way to do that on hoping for an upswing? Or
that one right there might be a problem in the current global setting. Buying rubles probably a good bet long term. I wouldn't bet on it because, look, the powers that be, whether you I know there's some ethical issues, comparing, what Russia's doing is wrong, right? Has the United States ever done exactly what Russia's doing? Of course we have, right? But, we're America, so America. But it is what it is. It's wrong, and all the powers that be don't like it. So as long as China doesn't join it, Russia's going, I don't
Russia
know what
did ban
That's
Bitcoin ATMs from the country as well. So trying to get your rubles out in Bitcoin is difficult, but we still saw a pop. So, hey, thank you, Greg. Next email comes to us from Dale in North Carolina. Dale asks, is there a limit to how often I can trade a ticker each day? I guess, Dale, it depends on how much money is in your trading account. Greg, there may be some tax initiatives here with trading off and on. And
there's no limits for, say, me. I can buy 1,000,000 times back and forth. Now, there is one thing that could limit how many times you can purchase the same stock, or actually any stock, and that is pattern day trader, right? So if you're a pattern day trader, you have to have over $25,000 if you're a United States citizen. If you're not, whatever. But if you're not a state citizen and you're broker, which should be in the United States, you can only make 4 day trades. That means you opened it and closed it in the same day in a 5-day rolling period. Okay. So that means you could only buy, since you have that, if you didn't buy anything in a month or a week, you could buy the same stock and sell it 4 times in a day. If on a margin account, okay, so if you have a margin account, but you don't have over $25,000, you're limited to 4 times a day. If you have a cash account and say you got $10,000 and you're just buying, something that's like $10, then you can buy it until you used up all that cash for that day, right? Because it takes a few days to do it. So there's a limit, but as long as you got $25,000 and you're on a margin account, there's no limit.
Okay. Thanks, Greg. So if you have a question, we can answer it, or we'll find someone else who can. So hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street, in the comments section or on our YouTube page, or you can also email us at www.optionsplayers.com with your questions. We are here to help. Speaking of, this portion of the show is brought to you by BetterHelp.com. Let me tell you something. With everything going on in the world these days, everybody could use BetterHelp, as in BetterHelp.com. BetterHelp is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. What it is professional counseling done securely online, which is a big deal. So BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist.
It's super convenient for people who need help, but can't carve out time during their workday to make it an appointment, and also for those who feel uncomfortable sitting in a waiting room or sitting with a counselor. BetterHelp.com is available worldwide, and you can start communicating in under 48 hours. You can even send a message to your counselor anytime, and anything you share is confidential. It's affordable, professional, and also very convenient. Start living a happier life today and get 10% off your first month by visiting BetterHelp.com/WallStreet.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/WallStreet.
Today's theme of the story is, if you're not paying for the product, then you are the product. Meaning, some companies whose apps that you use are using you or your actions to make money to their bottom line.
Okay.
So Georgia, goes like this. You download an app.
Right.
Say it's a third-party weather, or even Facebook, Instagram, or something you really need these days like Gas Buddy.
Yes.
To check the prices of gas in your neighborhood. When you go through the onboarding process, these free apps want to create a profile of you on their databases. For this, they want to know your email address, age, and most importantly, get access to your location. From here, iOS or Android provides a pop-up where you can let them use it always, only when the application is launched, or never.
Okay.
For things like Gas Buddy or Facebook, you want to set this for only when using the application.
Got it.
This means they can't track where you're going when the app's closed and sell this data to your advertisers.
Okay.
Now, in the past, Facebook has been caught for this practice even when you weren't allowing them to access your data.
What?
Blows my mind. In a 2018 lawsuit, the plaintiff said Facebook secretly tracks, logs, and stores information and location data for its users, including those who have sought to limit the information about their locations that Facebook may store in its servers by choosing to turn location history off. Now, it does this by looking at your IP address and using estimated locations based upon that data. So even if you turn it off, they can still collect data about your location when you access their servers. Look, it makes sense that they have the ability to make money selling targeted ads, but you may not like the creepiness factor in their doing so.
Okay.
It's for this reason that I don't even have Facebook installed on my phone, but I put it on my tablet that's not carried with me on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart. Okay.
Yeah. But what about Google?
Yeah.
They too were hit with a similar lawsuit around tracking users. But if you use Google Maps, which provides real value, I mean, Georgia, do you want to print paper MapQuest
Oh, remember
routes?
that? Remember MapQuest? Oh my gosh.
Right? You don't want to use MapQuest in 2022. Hell
You
no.
can't, no.
But giving location access to Gmail may update the time zone in your calendar, which isn't worth it to me. But with Maps, giving directions requires in-app or background location access. Furthermore, if you lock your phone when you're navigating with Maps, you can't get turn-by-turn directions via pop-ups on your screen or audible instructions in your headphones. Or if you have a car with CarPlay, you have to enable background operation location as well. So you can keep Maps open on your phone when you're driving, but that's a big power draw on your phone, lighting up the screen and using GPS. So you might even need a more robust charger in your vehicle if you're trying to do all these things with the screen on. So what do you do?
Okay, what do we do?
Well, for me, in the terms of Gas Buddy, you can go to their website and touch the hamburger button. That's the stack of things that look like a hamburger.
Okay.
Beside the download application button, where you can give them access to the location via the browser. And then you can find nearby gas stations that way. For apps where you may not use them that often, I'd go the route of mobile web. For me, with Facebook, I'd really think hard about installing their native app, as they solely profit on your location and advertisements.
What?
Personally, I use Facebook's website instead, and for Instagram, I'd only allow location when the app is running, since it's a Meta property.
Right.
You can do that with the Facebook app as well if you want to keep the application on your phone, because some things like video only work best in the Facebook app.
Right.
The whole idea, though, is to limit your location sharing. So to do this, go to your phone settings,
Okay.
and then the location option. George
Okay.
is doing this right now.
I'm doing it as we speak.
When you start seeing the list of applications, those with a hollow arrow can get your location, while those with a purple arrow show that they recently asked the operating system for your location. So keep your eye on these, and you may want to change the option to never or while using the app. I can count the number of apps on my hand that I give full-time location access to.
Okay.
Georgia, how about you? Do you see go into
That's
location
all of them.
there? Oh, in the past, some of the worst offenders for grabbing your data and monetizing it were the apps like the flashlight, calculator, or other things that are built into the phone's operating system. So please, delete those if you've downloaded them and maintain your location privacy. Now, there's lots of companies out there that use apps to monitor your location. So there's an entire ecosystem out there of businesses built on selling your movement. So being free, like some of these video games, isn't without a cost.
All right, so we talk a lot about celebrity endorsements and how Hollywood and social media influencers can sometimes play a big part in investment opportunities. However, there's always a downside. We are talking about celebs. So take, for instance, Kanye West. I know,
Who?
not a day goes by when we don't hear something about Kanye, Kim, and Pete. So without further ado, let's get into it. Specifically, Kanye West, who was banned from Instagram after harassing Kim, bullying Pete, and making racist remarks about talk show host Trevor Noah. Now, Noah is hosting the Grammys, so Kanye has been banned from that as well. Meanwhile, Trevor Noah has spoken about it, and he's like, listen, I wanted Kanye counseled, not canceled. Still, the ban holds. So Kanye got his own brand that he's selling, at least some people say he's selling it, although many don't see it that way, but instead consider it expression and art. Well, Gap is like, this ain't expression and art, okay? There was so much buzz around the Yeezy Gap collaboration. My kid waited months for this blue Gap Yeezy puffer jacket that sold out immediately. Yes, this one that Bieber's wearing there. You know what? You know what I could do? If you're listening to this podcast, number one, check it out on YouTube page when you get a chance. I could sell this thing right now. I get it out of his closet, sell it for 3 times what it cost, right? I really could, but that's not what the story is here. So moving on. Kanye's literally walking around in Balenciaga Croc boots. I'm not even kidding. Designer Balenciaga did a collabo with Crocs, and look at these. Only Kanye could walk around in those and not get laughed at. They're Crocs.
Who would buy? I don't get it. Who
They're
would buy
so
those things?
freaking expensive. It is so dumb to Croc Balenciaga. Who would do that?
Wait,
hey, dude.
Georgia, what are those?
Really,
are
Joe?
Those Croc? Do this side profile view. What?
Are we doing shoe cams? Are you serious?
Oh, look at those.
But these aren't the boots. These are the Balenciaga clogs. It's not
Oh
the
my gosh.
You know what?
You
anyway,
are a clog, Georgia.
they're so comfortable. So anyway, those sold out. Those boots, those ugly boots that Kanye West had on, sold out, and they were like $1,200. So Kanye is the ultimate promoter. I mean, have you seen Genius on Netflix? It really is good. But all publicity isn't good publicity, especially when it includes claims like harassment, bullying, and racist slurs. Social media users have flooded Gap's Instagram account, asking them to end their partnership with Kanye West. To be fair, many other fans took to social media to support Kanye. Now, here's the thing. Kanye signed a 10-year deal with Gap to be worth an estimated $970 million. $1 billion,
$1
folks.
billion?
Yes, Kanye is the ultimate brand ambassador. However, I feel like Kanye was Kanye way before Gap signed this deal with him. So they knew. I mean, we all saw him and Taylor Swift. We know who Kanye is. So I kind of feel like Gap knew what they were getting themselves into. So what should Gap do? What should any company do in this situation? Should Gap disassociate themselves with Kanye? Is it hurting their bottom line? What do investors think? Greg, I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about this.
Yeezy.
Kanye. I don't really, or I don't even know. It's not Kanye anymore. What's his name?
Ye.
Or whatever.
He's just Ye.
All right. Yeah, whatever, dude. I'm just gonna call him Kanye. All right. So nobody cares what he does. He could. I mean, his followers are about as cultish as it gets. I mean, look at what he's said and done over the last 5 years. And they don't care. And then when you're talking about the Gap, right? Well, I forgot exactly what it's, the Yeezy Gap. 2 years ago, it was kind of like right during COVID started, that deal with them, and they were supposed to launch in like 2020 and then more stuff in 2021, basically everything. And they've only launched 2 things, a hoodie and like a puffer jacket or something. And the jacket came out in like June, but whatever. And that's it. So there are some, I don't know what the issue is there. If it's just, you can't get the price point down to where Kanye wanted it. I think Kanye said he didn't want anything cost over $100. And that was his
But here's
rule,
the deal.
not Gap's.
Let me tell you something. I ordered that puffer jacket for my 16-year-old when it first came out, and I got it for like, I want to say it was like $80. And now you see it online. So he was true to his word in that case. That puffer jacket was really cheap when I ordered it. Of course, we had to wait for it to come in. But now I can sell it online for like $500. I wouldn't do that unless my kid made a bad grade.
But nobody cares. He could, I mean, come on. The dude's walking around. I mean, I'm not getting political, but let's just say he is a black man wearing a Trump hat. And no, that culture didn't go, you know what, guy, I'm going to cancel you. That was about.
But you know what?
So they ain't going to cancel him for anything if you can't, that man can walk around with a Trump hat.
But I think, I feel like investors don't, the Gap, I mean, is all news good news? I feel like.
So I don't think really he actually needed Gap to do this. I think it was, I think that's kind of why stuff's not coming out. If he didn't want to use Gap and he just wanted to do it himself, he probably could. It's not an issue. He's rich as could be. I think it would be more beneficial if, who said that, we need 2006 or 2008 Kanye back.
Old Kanye.
I'm not a big Kanye fan. I would say I'm not even a super fan of his music. I love Slow Jams, the Twista song with Jamie Foxx. When he came out, that's about it. The rest of the stuff I don't really care about.
What year was that, Georgia?
I don't know, but it was a good song.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really get the Yeezy wear.
Come on, these shoes are cute, but these are really Croc Balenciaga.
If you want some blue jeans with some, some paint on them, I can get those at Goodwill. But
so at the time that we record this show, Gap stock is down 5%. It's down 2% for the month. So doesn't seem like Gap's being too canceled yet for this. So it'll be interesting to see.
And I mean, it is a retail store.
It is Gap. Everybody shops at Gap.
It's not prime time to be buying. Everything's down a little bit, right? So
you don't think it's affecting the stock at all?
I mean, Gap can't hurt it. I mean, I don't think Gap's going to get rid of it, probably because they already paid him a bunch of money and they ain't never going to see that back. But yeah, I don't think Kanye can hurt the Gap. All right. I don't think of Gap and think, man, that's a nice retailer. I shouldn't go to Gap. I think I need some clothes to paint on. I'm going to go buy a bunch at Gap. I'm just joking. There's some nice Gap clothes.
I was about to say, hold up. These are some Gap jeans I got on right now. Stop showing my shoes, Joe.
But it's I don't think the Gap's really worried about it. It's usually in malls or outlet stores. Nobody really cares, man. And we're Americans. I mean, there's a huge cancel culture in some parts of the world, but let's just be honest. Most of the people that are going to cancel something aren't shopping at the Gap.
Okay. All right.
They're probably shopping at thrift stores or something else.
Okay.
America buy whatever it wants to because it likes it or it's cheap.
Well, I'm a conscientious buyer, so I'm a conscientious consumer. So, I mean, and I did buy these Crocs because I do still like Kanye. I just want him to stop acting
But
doing
Georgia,
what he's
didn't
doing.
you say you didn't even know that was a partnership with?
I did not.
Yeah.
When I bought them, I just thought they were really cute. And so I bought them. I had no idea they were Crocs. And I'm like, whoa,
Sounds
these are the most
very
comfortable shoes
conscious.
ever. So,
All right. Well, we would like to thank lead cancel culture instructor and fan of Yeezy, Greg Krause at OptionsPlayers.com for being with us here today.
I can't believe he likes slow jams. Of all the Kanye West songs, you like slow jams. That's a good
Telepumper
one.
guy said that's from
I
2001.
like Jamie Foxx as
He
an
would-
actor, but I really like Twista. That he was like one of my go-to guys. Although
Yeah.
I'm from Memphis, so
I was gonna say,
have
that's
to
why you
stick
like
with
Twista's
3
Dirty
6
South.
and Project and all them. But
Yeah.
Twista was a man back then. I guess
Let
he's
me
still,
find
I
out
think he's got a
he
new
knows who
album
these
coming
people
out.
are. Wow. Hey, did y'all know something really, really quick? Do you know the jingle, I'm loving it from McDonald's?
Uh-huh.
You know who did that? It was a rapper, Pusha T. He got paid $1 million to do it in like 2001, 2003. Now he's got
Yeah,
a
he's doing
beef
it
with
Arby's.
McDonald's. Yeah, now he did one for
Yeah.
Arby's because he feels like he was an up and coming rapper at the time, and he feels like he didn't get paid enough for that. I'm loving it. He didn't feel like he got paid enough.
He got $1 million.
$1 million back when he had nothing. But he's like, but look how long McDonald's has been making money off I'm loving it for 20 years. So
Yeah.
he's like, come on, dude, I got no residuals, whatever. So he's got this beef and now he made one for Arby's. I think that's so funny.
This is like the Can You Hear Me Now guy going from Verizon to
Yes,
Sprint.
same
right?
thing,
Or the
same
Dell
thing.
dude, right?
$1 million
Yes.
for coming up with a jingle. Come on.
Well, I mean, but you're right. You're right. Except they're still using it, So whatever. All right. So remember, we do this. We go down a wormhole, and we just can't get out of it. But if you've got questions, we can try to help you answer them, and we would love to hear from you so that we could just talk forever about your question, your comment. Email us at www.optionsplayers.com. Hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street. Do all the things.
And if you're listening to us, you can, of course, watch episodes of What's Next Wall Street on the Options Players YouTube page. The best place to watch us is on the plane.
You always catch up,
with
even though you've already
alcohol.
seen them.
Yeah, now that you can drink again.
Now that you can do it. Agreed. Okay, you can, of course, listen and wherever you get your podcast. Best place to listen, I think. Well, I listen in carpool car line, or on the train. That's a good place to listen.
There you
Okay.
Hey, make sure you subscribe and hit the alert button so you get current trending info as soon as it drops.
Yes, sirs.
I'm Dave Mathews.
And I'm George Alfredas. See you next time on What's Next Wall Street.